So it's Friday night, 8 o'clock, kids are in bed. Just finished the program with Rick. Had a couple kids here working, and this is what happened to my shop. So there's a couple boxes doing a little bag and tag. We got as far as spreading all the parts out and figuring out what we had and what we had 2 of and what we had 3 of. And now I gotta kind of figure this out, put it back together again and get going on the Style Master. But before that, I gotta get on my wife's car. It's got a bad exhaust leak. It's the 2.4 Ecotec. Same engine that's in the Malibu actually, and I think the Saturn was a test vehicle for the Malibu. I'm gonna pull that air breather off. And I'll show you guys the crack. I think it's pretty common because it was hard to find a manifold for it. I finally found one in Moncton. But you can see that big crack right there. And my wife is complaining about, I smell exhaust and I'm getting headaches. So I figure after about a month of that, I think it's just about a half actually, I should probably fix it. So pretty straightforward. Pulling 3 bolts, 3 nuts off of the cat, pull out the O2 sensor, and I'll probably just unplug it and then pull it out on the bench after I have it off. And then there's a little heat shield that goes on top of here. And I just pulled that off already last week when I found out what the problem was. Did take me a few days to get the manifold, but the manifold wasn't bad. 136 bucks, comes with the gaskets for the head and the gasket for the cat, and the nuts and bolts to put the cat back on again. So we'll get going on that, and then should put the winter tires on too, but I probably won't do that tonight. Yeah, here we go. So we've got our 3 bolts out. That's a 15mm socket around the cat, and then we've got our row of bolts on the top and on the bottom of the exhaust. They're 13mm deep, and the very 2 on the outside here, just get a wrench and a 13mm wrench and crack them loose. If all your studs come out of your catalytic, I only had 1 come out. If all of them come out, you can pull the manifold off from the top. But I've got 1 stud out and 2 nuts loose. So we're gonna jack it up. We're gonna have to drop that catalytic down because the studs are holding the muffler, or the manifold from coming back. And the studs out of the head are what's keeping the exhaust manifold from coming up. So we'll put it up on the hoist and see what it looks like underneath. So this bracket here is holding the exhaust from coming down. So you can pull this bolt out the lengthways, or you can take the 2 bolts off the engine. I don't know if this bolt's going to come out very easy, so I'm going to take these 2 bolts off here. That'll allow this pipe to drop down, and then I can slide my exhaust manifold off. Okay, my cat's loose now. So this is a flex pipe here, so it's allowed to move a little bit. If your exhaust is older, you want to support it because this is the first place that it rots. But that's an 09. It does have 290,000 kilometers on it, but still pretty decent shape actually. Pretty clean for the salt that's on there. I always took this one when I went snow plowing and that. I figure we'll mile it out before we rot it out. But it's actually in really good shape. We didn't even bother under oiling it because, like I said, 5 years old and it's got 300,000 K on it almost. So excellent car for us though. It's I've put 1 wheel bearing on the driver's side. We bought it with 110,000 in 2010, and I haven't done anything else. Brake pads, not even rotors, and just typical stuff with light bulbs and battery wipers. The only thing is the headlights. To get at the headlights, you gotta pull the bumper off. It's like a 4-hour job. I said forget that, so I just took a little saw and cut a little hole behind where the light bulb switch was, or the plug, and I was able to go through the unibody and just grab it. It's not gonna hurt anything. Can't tell you to do that because you're cutting into your unibody, but a little square this big isn't gonna change anything. So yeah, I would highly recommend this car to anybody. The Saturn was actually a prototype for the Malibu. It's the same body and engine, a different transmission. We have a 6-speed. I guess they didn't want to put the 6-speed CVT in the mainstream Malibu, but in 2010 they really pushed the Malibu as car of the year, blah blah, newest best car. But the Saturn is actually the guinea pig for that. They throw all the ideas into the smaller brands and then use what works and scrap what doesn't work, and then that way they don't have giant recalls, hopefully on a mainstream car, even though they've been pretty bad with the recalls lately. But anyway, pull that manifold off, put the new one on, and here we go. There it is. Oh look, it's not even cracked all the way around. I don't know what she was complaining about. Maybe it is cracked all the way around. No, look. Between here and here is not even cracked. So that's kind of funny. Sorry, hon. I'll try to get out of your vehicle sooner. Just shop's kind of full. If you throw your manifold on the ground and it cracks in half, it's probably no good anymore. Nice. You can see the shiny part there was the only thing still holding it together. I could have got away with it for another couple weeks, but I didn't want to push it. Gasket only goes on one way. I've never seen this before, 2-piece gasket that's spot welded together. But yeah, you can't get it wrong because the bolt holes won't line up any other way you do it. So because the studs are on the back of the engine, or on the head, you can just lean right over and put your gasket on, and then you can put your head on, or put your gasket on, and then you can put your exhaust manifold on. Nice. Once you get the nuts tight on the catalytic converter, the 3 15mm socket nuts, you can do the 13mm nuts on your exhaust manifold against your head. Start in the middle at the top, then go to the bottom, and then work your way out, snugging them up, and then going over them again and tightening them all. That prevents warpage and pulls it down nice and even. After that, you can put your plug your O2 sensor back in again. I always zip tie it to lines, make sure that there's no chance that they can hit the manifold or the cat, because it'll burn the wires and set a code. And then put your heat shield back on again, drop your air breather back on again, and you're all done. Takes about an hour. Hour and a half. You don't have a hoist. I would quote this job at about $200–250 by the time you pay for the parts, which is about $130–150. So don't pay more than that at the dealer. Just go find somebody else to do it. Very simple job. Anybody can do it. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. That's about all you gotta know. And assembly is the exact opposite of disassembly. Any questions? Just write on the page. Shoot me a line, and I'll answer them. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little one. Thanks.
To follow a variety of projects that include conversions and repairs to anything from Ferraris to chainsaws. And check out the Tape Boss, my newest invention that's coming to market. And remember, if you're not filthy, you're not rich.